Hey everyone, Valen Versatile here for a GT Online guide video. This time we're going to be talking about the 3 new odd jobs that have been added to GT Online. So are they worth doing at all, the odd jobs? So we'll get into the payouts first, and then I'll let you know my opinions on whether you should do them or not. And we'll give you some tips and tricks along the way. So starting off with the Forklift Operator. If you just finish the job without caring about the set bonuses, so the set bonuses would be you loading up the 3 of the same item type onto the conveyor belt, and then you'll get a set bonus. So one set bonus is 4,000. So if you complete all 5, there'll be 20,000 extra at the end of your shift. So if you get all the goods loaded up in the warehouse, all 15 goods, that'll be 40,000. So 40,000 when you just do the job, just finish loading up all the goods in the warehouse, and then another 20,000 if you get all 5 sets done. So in total, you'll make 60,000. So this is excluding the night shift bonus. The night shift will give you 20% more. So with the night shift, you do all the sets and you get all the goods loaded up, you get $72,000. So that's 20% more if you do the calculation. So that is the amount of money you can expect to make. Remember, this is double money and RP for the existing and new odd jobs this week only. So this is what it's paying this week. So whatever I'm saying in the video, just divide that by 2 and that would be their usual rate. So let's dive into the RP part of it. So if it's not a very good paying job, how much RP can you earn while doing this job? So every time you load any 3 goods, whether it's matching or mismatch or whatever, as long as you have 3 goods loaded up and then you press the button to send them off in the conveyor belt, it's 1,000 RP this week, of course, and then that'll be 5,000 RP in total once you load all the goods onto the conveyor belt. So it's 5 times. So 1,000 times 5 is 5,000 RP. And after you finish the job, you get additional 5,000 RP. So for the conveyor belt forklift operator mission, you can earn 10,000 RP this week. So that's a lot of RP. So it's good job to do just to get RP if you're trying to level up. So this is really good for absolute beginner or people trying to level up, like your low level in GTA Online. So this is pretty good. So some tips, you can actually, so if you're on an Xbox controller, you can press B on the controller to go into the front camera, into first person, to kind of line up the forklift blades to insert onto the blue pallets with carrying the goods. So you need to adjust the height to precisely slight poke through the hole and all the way in before you can lift it up and then carry it onto the forklift. So it's a bit of like maneuvering and precision, and it's kind of annoying. So you can press B to switch your camera view to the front to help line up. And also another trick is that, yep, you just saw it right there, that I pulled up the list of the sets that is being completed. So it's a checklist for you to check off the sets that you've done up. So right now I'm doing the antiques, um, set, and you can see sometimes it's frustrating if your forklift gets stuck in a corner like this. What I would recommend you to do is actually go forward and turn to the right if you're stuck. Like if your forklift is stuck on the right side, it's kind of strange. Like you just go forward and turn right like this right there to get it unstuck, which is kind of strange. So that's why there are a few tips I can give for the forklift operator. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Moving on. Oh, okay. So I did wanted to let you guys know about the night shift. So it's between 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. It doesn't matter when you start the mission. It's when you finish it. So yeah, I tested the timing for the forklift operator for the night shift bonus. So as long as you finish the job within 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. GTA time, you will get the bonus. It doesn't matter when you started because I started the shift at 1 a.m. GTA time and finished it just after 7 a.m. and I didn't get the night shift bonus, so that kind of sucks. So because the mission takes about an average of let's say about 13 minutes ish, I tried the forklift operator job like 4 times, just to get different footage of it, like for like testing out different things like daytime, without the set, like just loading up all the goods and just no set bonuses, doing all the set bonuses, getting the night shift and the set bonus, and what is the timing for the night shift and all that, just to test it all out for you guys. So on average 13 minutes. Okay, and because every in-game day is 48 minutes in real life, so that means to say that 2 minutes equals 1 GT hour, and since on average you do this job it takes 13 real minutes, so it equals to 6.5 GT hours in game. So that means you can start it out way earlier than you think, and if you finish after 8 p.m. or within the time frame 8 p.m. to 7 p.m., it counts that you did the night shift. So keep that in mind when starting up this forklift operator. You don't have to wait until the sun sets for you to start up this job. You can start it way earlier than you think. Moving on to the next odd job. Next up, we have the paper out or the paper boy odd job. That you work for the LS metros. It always seems to be these 10 same locations, so you can actually memorize the route and then do it really fast. So anyways, we'll start off with the payouts. So the payout for it is actually, so we're gonna be actually putting up the text on screen of the usual pay. So this week it will be double pay. So it pays 12,500 when you deliver all 10 newspaper. And the game will give you $500 for every 30 seconds or sets of 30 seconds left on the clock. So if you have like 1 minute left, that means there's two sets of 30 seconds. That means it's $1,000 because it's 500 for every 30 seconds, and it rounds down the 30 seconds. It doesn't round up. So it's every set of 30 seconds. So as you can see, I did the mission the first time with the Dinka Thrust, the mission vehicle provided, the motorbike. And okay, so I also did it without the bike and with the Oppressor Mark II. So you can actually use any vehicle, so you can just get off. I'll show the footage in a second. So you can get off your delivery bike and get onto any vehicle of your choice. So in this case, I'm using the Oppressor Mark II, one of the fastest vehicle in the game to get around the map. So actually, it's always the same location. If you saw on the map briefly at the start of the two clips I just showed, yeah, it's the same 10 locations. So you can memorize the route and just go about your day. So let's talk about the time. So you start off with 5 minutes. You need to deliver it in 5 minutes, which is pretty insane. I thought you need to deliver it on the bike on 5 minutes, but it turns out you can use any vehicle. And on top of that, you get every time you deliver a newspaper, you get a minute added onto the clock. So because I was so fast with the Oppressor Mark II, it was insane. I was getting time like over 5 minutes easily with the Oppressor Mark II. So how fast did I did the mission for the both? So I did 9 minutes with the delivery bike and 5 minutes and 25 seconds with the Oppressor Mark II. It's not even a competition. I think it's pretty hilarious that they allow you to deliver newspaper on the Oppressor Mark II. It's insanely overpowered. So is there any bonuses on the bike? There is no bonuses on the bike. I checked the calculation and there is no bonus on the bike at all. So because the delivery rewards you more money based on the time you have remaining. It's better to have the Present Mark II or fast vehicle to do the mission than the delivery bike given to you in the mission. So my recommendation, grab a fast vehicle and do the delivery. Okay, so how much RP do you get every time you deliver a newspaper? You get 500 RP every time you throw a newspaper, but this is double money on RP this week, so it's actually 250 RP per newspaper delivered. So you get a total of 2,500 RP upon job completion. So it's pretty decent at, again, leveling up, so not bad. The new paper route is a fairly straightforward mission concept. I don't think I can give any tips. Moving on to the next odd job. And we have you being a firefighter as the last odd job to talk about. So, firstly, the firefighter odd job will be interesting. So, in each time you start up the mission, you will have 5 dispatch, and each dispatch will be a different dispatch. And from what I see, there's only 5 different types of dispatch, and you will get these 5 dispatch every time you start up the firefighter mission. So, the 5 different dispatch missions you'll get during the firefighting missions, I'll talk about that a bit later and give some tips. I'll show footage of it as well. For now, I want to talk about the payouts for the dispatches you get. So for each dispatch, when you get put into those missions, you will start out with 15,000 payment, and then it slowly decreases over time. So it depends on how fast you do the missions and how far you need to go, right? So it is depends on your luck and the task you're given and how familiar you are with these jobs and familiar with the location. So there's a few factors varying how much payment you can get or retain rather. So it's, I would say on average you'll get about 14,000 ish, 14,000 plus on each dispatch, and guaranteed you get 500 RP on each dispatch, guaranteed. It doesn't matter how fast you are, it doesn't matter. You, as long as you complete the dispatch, you'll always get that 500 RP, and that means in total you'll get around 70,000 ish and in cash, and then 2,500 RP guaranteed at the end of the 5 dispatch you are done. So now we're going over to the different mission types you get put into. So as you can see, the first dispatch in the footage at the background you're seeing is the extinguish the fire, and I'm struggling to extinguish the fire because I was trying to figure out how are you supposed to put out the fire. So you can see at the bottom right of the screen, the HUD fire has a health bar, and there's an icon on the minimap. So what I recommend you to do is that you take a look at your minimap as well as the health bar of the fire, and you spread towards the direction of where the fire icon is on the minimap, so that I wouldn't trust the visuals of the fire so much. Like, it helps, but follow your minimap and the health bar of the fire so that you can determine whether you've extinguished the fire if you're actually putting out the fire. So I would use these two indicators to help you with that. So this is actually a two-parter, so you have to put out the house fire and then rescue the civilian. So you just go into the house, you just interact with the civilian, and then you just put him to the paramedic. You will see in a second. There you go. It says rescue the civilian. He's get put in the stretcher, which I thought was pretty funny as a cool little animation. And then once you enter the fire truck, then you will get paid. So you can see right there, I earned 13,875. So this one is a bit of a slower mission, especially putting out the fire. A house fire is a bit frustrating. I'm still trying to figure out the mechanics of it, and this is the tip I can give you for that. So moving on to the next dispatch variation you can get. So the next one is you'll get a call and you have to shut out a gas leak. So you see the green gas is poisonous, so just hold I think right or left on the D-pad, I forgot. So just hold on the D-pad, equip your gas mask, otherwise you take damage from standing in the green gas, obviously. And then look around for a valve to shut off the gas, and that's pretty much it for this mission. Nothing to it. So moving on to the next one. So the next one is rescue a domestic animal and return it to the owner. So this one took me a while. I just had to walk around and assess like where can I get up to the building the cat was. So you need to so this for this one in particular, I needed to climb up here and then jump across from this building to the next building. So what I would suggest is just take a look around your surrounding area. So yeah, I failed right there. I thought I needed to jump straight across, but no, I failed. I'm gonna skip to the part where I actually rescue the cat. So the next dispatch we would possibly get is the oil leak from the tanker. So again, check your mini map, check the health bar on the right, top bottom right, to see if you're actually putting out the fire, and that's how you can kind of tell if you're actually putting out the fire. So that's pretty much it for this one. We're gonna move on to the next. There's not much I could really talk to you about. It's very simple. This one where you get a couple of vehicles on fire, just aim the water at the vehicle, spray it, and that's pretty much it. This is so simple, so I don't think I got any tips for you here. And I think that's about wraps up the new odd jobs for the payout, the tips and tricks for them. So let's wrap up the video by now forming my conclusion. Do I think the new odd jobs are worth doing in GT Online? Overall, I don't think they're worth doing. However, much like everything in life, there are caveats to it. No, but if you are a new player and you need like a quick job to do that isn't too difficult, that doesn't involve combat, then these new odd jobs are actually good for RP. For an absolute beginner, these are also decent paying jobs, even outside of its 2 times pay. But I will express my opinion on each of the odd jobs, starting with the forklift operator. For me, the forklift operator was the most frustrating and annoying and the most boring and tedious job out of the three. So I don't really enjoy being a forklift operator. It's horrible operating the forklift in that narrow warehouse and getting stuck on corners of crates. Other than that, the forklift operator, I will say, the one good thing about it, it is the best RP maker out of the three odd jobs, earning you 5,000 RP when you complete a whole shift. That is normally, with 2 times pay right now, it's actually 10,000 RP. So this is a fantastic job to do to level up your character for both new players and veteran players. I don't know why you level up your character if you're like me, who I'm like over 300. But if you want to level up, this is the way to do it this week. For the paper boy or paper route odd job, I would say it's the weakest paying of them all. As you can see with the Oppressor Mark II, I made 42,000 with around 5 minutes and 25 seconds of time. So you can earn about, normally without the 2 times pay, it's 21, 20, maybe more ish, 21, 22 ish, right? It's not the best paying one, and this is with the fastest vehicle, so you earn more money. For RP though, it doesn't depend on how fast you complete the job. It's how many newspaper you deliver. So it's 500 RP per paper. So that's 5,000 RP for this week and 2,500 RP normally. So that's pretty good for RP, I would say, for Paperboy. And finally, we have the Firefighter, which I find is the most interesting with its varied different dispatch missions you get with the Firefighter. So definitely the most interesting of the bunch, but I guess with everything in GT Online, the novelty wears off very quickly if you keep doing this over and over again. So but this is a nice job to come to do every now and again. That's the nice thing I'll say about it. For the RP, however, it's a bit on the weaker side, but still fairly good with 2500 RP. So each dispatch is 500 RP. So normally 250. So times 5, that will be 1250 RP normally. So on the weaker side, but still decent. And especially you can always quit halfway. Don't forget for these dispatches. So depends. You can control how much RP and money you make with these jobs. So that's about wraps up the whole the odd jobs in GT Online worth it. So this is a much longer video than I anticipated, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.